On Slavens, even if Stovall wasn't injured, would you think about playing him more first base with the way that he played the last couple of days?
Yeah, I mean that's who was starting on Saturday. That was he got hurt. Yeah, I mean Brady's been swinging the bat good. Stovall's actually swung the bat a lot better against right-handers. Left-handers he's really struggled. You know, and now you got Kendall Diggs who's swinging the bat. He hits lefties and righties. He's just got a really good swing. And yeah, it's going to make it a little more difficult to fill out a lineup going down the stretch, but that's a good thing at this time of year.
So Slavens got hurt Saturday pregame?
No, Stovall.
So that's what I missed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We had him working out in the middle infield, and he came up, hopped up, and hit his throwing hand and peeled the fingernail back loose, bleeding all over the place.
Was he going to be in the lineup?
No.
So what's his status for the rest of the week?
He wasn't available Saturday or Sunday. I don't know. It's going to be up to him. You got to tell me. I mean, maybe he's available tomorrow, but I would say more towards the weekend.
With Slavens play first, is that a matter of trying to get Borfin and Lanzilli into the outfield? Just trying to.
Yeah. You know, and Gregory, he's been doing well too. I mean, it's kind of a tough pull for me, and you know, Zach has had a good year for us. Got some big hits, played really good defense, and he struggled against left-handers big time. And but it was Borfin is, you know, he brings some power to the lineup, and I think he's having some good at bats. Hasn't got a bunch of hits, hit some balls good, but just, you know, Zach struggled a little bit, and so we're just trying to get more offensive. We're trouble, you know, not scoring enough runs, so we're just making a few changes here and there.
You guys set the school record for fielding percentage, 980 last year. You're actually a little bit ahead of that, 984. What are your thoughts on that?
Just, you know, really solid infield. It's just been great. The outfielders have done a good job of handling the ball when they get to it, and you know, it's just you know, mostly the same infielders. Middle guys, I mean, that's usually where your errors come. I don't know, they work hard and they're talented. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of a mindset once the season starts and you find yourself really feeling the ball. I think they take a lot of pride in it.
You work with the middle infielders, don't you? Because that was your spot.
All of the infield. You know, I'm an infield guy. You know, every day I get, you know, Bobby will jump in there, but Bobby handles the catchers right now. And, you know, if the catchers, if it's a day that they're not, you know, working drills with the coach and do stuff on their own, then Bobby will jump in with me.
You know, I don't know what your fielding percentage was in '82, but you were the SWC newcomer of the year, so you had a pretty good year. But you guys play the same position? Does he remind you of yourself or anything?
Well, he's solid. He's a solid defender. A little bit, you know. I mean, like I said, I don't think Robert should have an error. That wasn't his error at A&M. That throw was right above the guy, you know. First baseman doesn't catch the ball. He had a bad day over there. And, yeah, I mean, a little bit. Robert plays with a lot of energy, and he turns a double play better than I did at that age. I mean, he's about as good as it gets when it turns into double play. And these guys in the big leagues don't turn it as well as he do. So, yeah, he's really good.
And you mentioned it in there, you know, he's struggling, you know, his batting, obviously not. And it seems like he must lead America in line drive outs.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. I mean, so he hits one, was it Friday, into that wind that would have given us a 2-1 lead. That ball's way out of the park. It went between the scoreboard and the building, so it really pushed it down. If he'd have hit it maybe one way or the other, if he pulled it a little bit, it goes out of the park, and that was frustrating for him and us. And then yesterday, you know, he lined out, hit 2 balls hard. It's like he's not getting any breaks. You know, he should probably be hitting at least 275 with a little bit of breaks. And I think, you know, we're just hoping that it all falls into place for him the rest of the season.
But you said he hadn't taken the tough hitting onto the field. I mean, how good is that to see? And you don't see that with everybody.
No, you don't see that with hardly anybody, honestly. That batting average, when you're supposed to hit, it bothers people. They say it doesn't, but it does. And they're thinking about hitting in the field, and they're frustrated, and why me, and why can't I get a break, and start feeling sorry for themselves a little bit. I mean, it's human nature. But man, he hasn't missed a beat in the field. He's made about every play you could ask him to make.
You feel like with some of your infielders, maybe it seems like they might get errors on plays because they're able to get to the ball in the first place that other players might not be able to. Do you see that sometimes?
Yeah, if they have to fight to get to the ball, I mean, usually the scorekeepers will see the range, or would they have really made that play anyway? I mean, that's where you got to look at it. But yeah, whenever you're really good, you get to balls that some guys don't. You're going to probably make an extra few errors every season, and I haven't seen that much this year.
With Stovall, how is he handling this season? Probably the first time he's really kind of struggled.
I think it's been a battle for him. He's learning about Division I baseball in the SEC, and the pitching that we see it's not what you see in high school. That's for sure. You might see one guy a year that is good, but he's still maybe a senior in high school. He's not college yet. And pitchers make jumps when they get here, and their secondary stuff becomes a lot better. And it's all about working hard. You've got to work hard, and he knows that. He's a smart kid.
You mentioned this the other day, I think, when Matt asked you about the Fowlers, but that Fowler Center, how big has that been, maybe in this defense we're talking about? Not like you guys were bad before, but it seems like it's the best.
Yeah.
Best.
Well, ever since we started using the Fowler Center, we've gotten better defensively. I mean, we got it in 15 or 16, and our defense after that, it's really gotten to the point where we expect to be one of the top fielding teams in the league. We never lose a day. Just like today, it's raining. If we were working out, we just go in there. Guys can go in there on their own and mess around, and it just gives us an opportunity to work, I guess, on the day they get here, and you always have that building.
There's a couple things about Missouri State, 82, even I know this, 82 to 2022, that's 40 years. So 40 years ago, you were playing against Missouri State. I don't know what you did, but I looked up, Arkansas beat Missouri State twice that year.
In 82.
So you were part of the rivalry as a player. And, I mean, Arkansas is, I think, 55 and 26. Arkansas has obviously got won many more than Missouri State, but like you alluded to in there, I mean, they get fired up to play you guys. Kind of, what do you think of the rivalry?
I think it's a good rivalry. It's, a couple, 3 hours away, and we always see them when we're out recruiting. We recruit a lot of the same kids. We get into Missouri. I'm sure the Missouri schools don't like that, but, we have to. And, I think Coach Gutt and his staff done a great job, and they get to play in the AA ballpark now. And I think that's really helped them attract some really good talent. They've had some great teams. When I was playing them, or back then, I mean, they were Southwest Missouri State. Now they're Missouri State. They've elevated everything up there. It's a nice place.
And you guys have had some good games with them. Memorable, that 3 a.m. rain game and all that. I mean, I guess what do you think about it? 40 years ago, you were playing against them. Now you're coaching against them.
That's what happens if you're still alive, Bob. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I just know that since I've gotten here, I remember the 2003 team they had was ranked in the top 10. I think they went to Omaha maybe in 2003, and we played them once here. We beat them like 4-3, 5-4, and they had a lot better team than we did that year. But we found a way, and it just seemed like ever since then, I knew what we were getting into when we played Missouri State. It was going to be a fight to the end, and we have played some really good games. And I remember when Brett Eibner went up there and pitched. I think he beat him 2-0. He threw the whole game, and he hit 2 solo homers. That was our pitcher DH. So there's been some crazy games.
Keith Gooden's been there for a million years. What do you think of him?
Like I just said, I think he's done a great job. I mean, he's taken it from one level to a higher level. He's had some great teams. You look at some of the players that have gone through, they're big leaguers, and they've done it with maybe less resources than a lot of teams that they're playing against in their league, or definitely out of conference, and they compete every year. He's done a great job.
Of course, Nate's been a part of both programs.
Yep. I mean, there's another. We took one of their coaches one year, and I think I went about it the right way. I called Keith before I did anything, and didn't try to sneak behind anybody's back. Went straight to him, told him what I was thinking, and gave him an opportunity to talk to his coach before I contacted him, and the rest is history.
On Jaxon Wiggins, is there some thought there that if he's inconsistent early in the game, you've got some time to overcome it with your bullpen, versus if you bring him in as a reliever, maybe it's a different situation?
Yeah, we felt like, he struggled the last few weeks, but we've had guys available, and we had maybe a mental plan how we were going to handle it. If it didn't go good in the first 2 or 3 innings, who would be first, and then kind of go from there. I just feel like that he's going to flip the switch. As His stuff's good. He actually threw some really good breaking balls yesterday, but you gotta land more of them because there's two philosophies against him: take till you get a strike early, or jump that first fastball and try to hit it as hard as you can. We've seen everything, and then they mix it up a little bit. And the key for him is to be able to throw off-speed pitches early in the count and finish guys with fastballs, and not just fastballs all the time. And more than anything, you just got to throw strikes. And if he does that, he'll be good. If he keeps struggling, I mean, we'll just reevaluate it and maybe get a plan together where we bring him in second and see what he can do in the middle of the game.
Was what he was doing for you, say, like the Kentucky Missouri series when he was having success? I mean, that maybe gives them a longer leash.
Yeah, it does. I mean, in Missouri is a team that likes to take a lot of pitches, and they tried that on him. It didn't work. Got behind in the count, and he got him. So we know it's in there. Maybe just going through a little bit of that in the middle of the season, towards the end of the season, and hopefully, he didn't throw a lot of pitches Sunday. Maybe that's what he needed. Be ready to go next Sunday.
And then you got to ask about this in there, but with all of your runs going on, home runs during the Ole Miss series, is there any concern there, or did you like your team's approach during that series?
No, I mean, there's always concern, but Kendall Diggs could hit a double, but he hit it so hard it went out of the park. And I think about Turner's home run yesterday. It was just kind of the same ball, low line drive that just kept going. And I mean, that's what we want when guys put good swing on the ball. You really, you're not going to get it hit every time, obviously, but with runners in scoring position, we just, our thing is just productive at bats. If there's a runner on second, nobody out, then if you don't drive them in, at least move them over, and that's what we've been talking about. We just don't want to hound them on it. They know. We've had some workouts that all we did was situational hitting with base runners, and they get it. They know what's up. So maybe this will be the week that we hit a lot of balls through the middle and advance and drive in runners, and we pop a home run here or there.
Hey, going at defense, I think you said in the preseason Webb was as good as any center fielder you've had. What do you thought of his season, and then what Turner's done behind the plate, obviously? And is it a coincidence he got Opitz' old number? Is that just a coincidence?
And so on the number, it was just one of the open numbers, and so I just asked him, what number, you want this number or that number? And if I have an option or two, I'll let him have it. That's the number he chose. I think Webb's season has been great. We knew in the fall we needed him to play center field if we were going to leave Wallace at third, because we had considered putting Wallace in center, just depending on a couple of things, and we just felt like we were a better team. Obviously, if Webb could play center, we could put Wallace at third, and it's what he played in high school. He played outfield as a freshman, but that was probably his position in the future. Professionally, and it made us better. Webb had an injury in the fall. It was, quad. I mean, he still really takes care of that quad. And, I think he's been great. I mean, you think about some of the catches he's made. Probably he made them look easy. He throws really good. Teams know that. And then, we've always known the power was there. We've seen him in fall ball where he was our best hitter for a week here or there, and gone, wow. I think he's been really good lately.
Seems like with Tiger, y'all have had like a pretty definitive plan of kind of trying to build him up and prepare him for this. What do you see from him and just how he's holding up physically?
Yeah, I mean, we were planning yesterday 50 pitches, 55, and we felt like that's probably what he should have thrown. But that was his last hitter, and I mentioned that yesterday when you guys were in there. But I think he's done a great job. He's pretty tough, and he doesn't get too uptight out there. I think he doesn't let all surroundings bother him. He just tunes into the catcher. And he's built up pretty good now where he could, it depends on what the situation is, but if it was a Sunday and we hadn't used him yet, we could bring him in the sixth. He could finish the game, probably the fifth, if we hadn't used him. And then, one inning, one game, maybe two or three the next day or the next day. I mean, that's what we'd like to do. But yesterday was probably, when we got to the third, with 3 innings to go, we felt like he was our best option, and we thought, if he goes the 7th and the 8th, maybe we can increase our lead. We got to hold them because they could hit. I mean, you can throw the numbers out. I don't get it, but they're one swing away from beating us all 3 games, and we just felt like that was their best option. Then we'll figure out who we're going to close in the 9th, but it worked out that he got through it.
Yeah, 2 guys get SEC honors.
Yeah, I mean, that's 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 special. I mean, we needed him, or we wouldn't have won the series. It's usually there's a co in there, and I don't know if there was. I haven't I haven't read it. I've been working on some other things this morning, and I haven't really gone into the detail of everything, but what an honor for two guys from one team to win some SEC honors. That's great.
With Wiggins, is it almost similar to 2018 with Campbell, where you'd have him on Sunday and occasionally you have the quick hook, but the talent's there?
A little bit of that. I think Wiggins is more a command thing, and Campbell's was more a confidence thing. That's what we thought, because I remember always talking to Campbell like, when you start believing you're a guy, you're going to be a guy. I think Wiggins believes he's a guy, but now he's just got to control that talent. I mean, you can't coach that. I mean, as far as that velocity, I mean, you can teach him how to hold the ball and spin a ball a little bit, but yeah, to me, it's really his battle there, and it's the same that it was with Campbell. It was when he started believing, and when he came back that next year in 19, he stayed all summer and worked. And you saw what kind of year he had. It was amazing. One of the best Friday guys I've ever had.
With Wiggins, he's throwing 99. Do you ever say, well, if you throw 96, the control might be better? When a guy throws that hard, man, he's just got to throw that hard.
He does. He'll drop his velocity down, and the scoreboard was slow. Now it's hot. So if you see 100 up there, it's probably 98, 97.5. When it's 95, that's probably what it is. When it gets a little lower, it's crazy. It's I've said it all along. Our radar gun's too far from the field. It needs to be up in that well. Maybe we can get that done, and I think it'll be accurate. But they redid it, and then I think they made it a little hot. But he take a little off, throw strikes, and he tries that. Sometimes it works. And I throw the first two pitches at 98, and it's 2-0, and he'll throw a fastball it'll read at 94 and strike. So you'll see that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the scouts got to love it, right?
They probably do, but at this level, our job is to get him better, develop him, and I think there's been a lot of that going on with him compared to when he got here to now. Is night and day. Well, he can finish the year and do well, and next year he'll be big time.